players with pretty prominent futures in Smash in general. I mean, just like Hayes, when you think of players who can potentially make PR, Mlarcin is definitely up on the board, has a lot of PR wins under his belt, and TabSoda has had a lot of really inconsistent placements. You know, one thing about one thing about the scene here in Tri-State, especially in Jersey, is there's way too many hitters, but both these players, you know, they're sitting playing one another. One of these players has a chance to prove that they are better than the other and potentially PR worthy. But will it be Mlarcin's Aegis or will it be TabSoda's Yoshi?
Yeah, and early on, right, even though there is percent difference here, well, I was about to say the game still looked pretty even, but it is Mlarcin finding the first stock on TabSoda, and even though until that point, right, it really only took Mlarcin finding one significant in neutral and pushed Tab into the corner once, and he immediately found the stock. Tab has to find ways to deal with this Mythra in neutral, maybe by abusing double jump armor, maybe by finding a way to bait out more hits, but if he just is getting his landings caught every time and can't find his conversion at all.
As a Yoshi main myself, I can tell you right now, this matchup is not fun, but it is doable if you're able to find your hits like you mentioned. But the thing about a character like Mythra specifically, despite her weight being pretty light and being able to secure kills fairly earlier, this character sometimes does not allow you to play the game, as we finally see TabSoda put himself on the board, but it took a lot out of him. It took a stock and 72% to finally get one off of Mlarcin.
That being said, Ed, he had only had 46 on Mlarcin when he lost his first stock, so you can't be too upset about that situation, right? You still are bringing it back, but you have to find your way out of this corner. You cannot lose the stock here. You have to make something happen. The up air string, trying to look for the up tilt platform extension, doesn't manage to find it. But right now, this is a good position. I would like to see Soda maybe start to play a little bit more defensively in this matchup, catch more approaches, but getting a little over-aggressive if Mlarcin doing a great job catching with the up B and one stock away from taking game one.
I think that's the thing with Yoshis in general. They love to go in, me included. I put myself in that category where we go in at times where we shouldn't, when we have a good tool in the egg where we can abuse it and just kind of force our opponents to have to find their way in. If not, we can find that clutch hit to just extend our combos. But right now, it seems like Tab, struggling off stage right now, has his jump, but now has to worry about Pyra, who packs a punch, and when it comes to that double jump armor, is almost not even there.
Yeah, no, it's unfortunately just Tab struggling to really find ways back down to stage one. Mlarcin doing such a good job catching his landings, really utilizing in both Aegis characters' range, Mythra with the speed and Pyra with just how much bigger her sword is than everything else. Also, really just not letting Soda find any way and really forcing him to get creative. But that being said, his defensive game plan has gotten a lot better. Mlarcin hasn't been able to find these hits, but Tab has to find conversions here to get back into this. This might be an opening.
Well, right now, sitting at 117 in the final stock, you have to be very careful as Mythra just has the options to just cover a lot of what Yoshi wants to do as he goes for the up tilt into up air, but nothing converting. Good DI coming out from Mlarcin as he's just putting on a clinic, just pressuring TabSoda at all times. Going to be able to live it out as Yoshi's heaviness is going to be a factor right there, but can't get too comfortable yet. You still have a stock and a half to work with and still struggling to get the stock.
Absolutely, try to find a way in. The up B, beautiful DI. Finding his way out of the second hit of that up B surely would have been the game, but it's so scary to get out of the corner again. And Pyra, the F tilt, that one's gonna do it all the way across the stage. It doesn't matter how heavy Yoshi is. That one's gonna take it, getting right into game number 2. Now, that being said, I do think Tab started to find some adjustments in the end, right? His defense started to look a lot more solid. He became a lot harder to hit for Mlarcin. Now he just has to figure out how to do that from the start rather than when he's just scared of dying and start to couple that with punishes on Mythra, which, while scary, if you don't have great tools to parry, is a great way to do that, but looking like, nope, I was gonna say looking like he might be considering the character swap, instead just opting for the color change, a little bit of a mental reset coming in now for TabSoda, opting for the the blue Yoshi here
Yeah.
and the stage counter pick. 2 small battlefield. Gabe, tell me a little bit about what this stage does for Yoshi in this match.
So small battlefield, just the fact that you have less room to work with, Yoshi's kind of want that. It makes it so that you have to play a little bit more aggressive. You have to get in on Yoshi, and Yoshi has a lot more room to just kind of run around and, you know, do what they do best, as that pivot grab is coming clutch. But also just the benefit of the platforms being a lot shorter on the end, so getting conversions off of it will be a lot more easier for Yoshi, and you see it's paying off right now as he gets the read. But the axis of the forward smash, yeah, that's one of the flaws that Yoshi's have to deal with. It's not going to connect if the player gets to touch any part of Yoshi, despite him being right in front of him.
Yeah, no, that's how it goes in this game, right? People forget that Smash is actually 3-dimensional. It's not just flat. These aren't just sprites, they're whole models, and stuff goes into the Z-axis. Weird shenanigans occur. But speaking of weird shenanigans, double jump armor coming in clutch, allowing Tab to find the potential for a reversal, but Pyra's up B just so big it does not, and still not letting TabSoda get back down to stage at all.
I definitely like how Tab is finally going about this matchup. You know, finding his way in, waiting for Mlarcin to throw out an attack to potentially just start working his way back up, but it doesn't even matter as the coverage with the up air did not even phase Mlarcin, getting him with the nair of Pyra, and now even tacking on a bit more damage to add on to this lead.
Yeah, no, really good stuff there from Mlarcin. The second Tab pushed an aggressive button, right? The second he hit a button first, he lost his stock for it, but managing to respond there with an up smash, only taking 25, so doing a really good job minimizing the bleeding here from that one mistake, and immediately going back to playing the defense here, really utilizing these platforms, utilizing the space, making it harder for Mlarcin to find ways in, but even still, a quick juggle coming out, and this is where Tab has struggled to so far.
Yep, well, Tab finally going to put himself on the board, get a little bit of damage, 57% to 11. You know, it seems like a lot, but Yoshi does have the combo tools to bring it back, but it just seems like Mlarcin is just covering every single option. Whether Tab is on the ground or he's in the air, Mlarcin is just one step ahead, utilizing the foresight in real life to really just call out what Tab is going to do.
Yeah, no, right, this is what Xenoblade has in common. You've got foresight, you've got, they can all see the future, whether it's Shulk, whether it's Aegis. It just keeps you scared, and speaking of being scared, down air, back air, that's going to do it, taking the stock. Tab now 1 stock away from getting sent down to losers. He's going to have a ways to go to bring this back, even only 52% on Mlarcin. What can he make happen here, Gabe?
Well, you got to start converting your combos. You got to start getting those hits in. It's a lot of 1-2s coming out from Tab that we're not noticing that he's not getting the combos that we're used to seeing a lot of Yoshis convert. But, fighting back. But the coverage from Mlarcin is just, there's no way around it. I mean, you have a disjointed sword, you have a lot of range, and you also just, that's the unfortunate way to go out. But Mlarcin, to his advantage, he does have a lot of Yoshi experience due to Pharaoh. Whenever he plays him at the Platinum Star Weeklies, he's played me a couple of times as well, so he's well versed in the Yoshi matchup. And just considering that Aegis kind of dominates in that matchup, I would also say that played a factor in this whole set.
One of the things I want to point out here about this set, we're seeing it here too, right? If you watch any one of these highlights, you're just not gonna see. You're not gonna see Mlarcin and off stage. You're not gonna see Aegis off stage once. If you go back and watch the VOD of that entire set.
Yeah.
And that's really where Yoshi thrives in this matchup, right? Is if you can get Aegis off stage, you have to prioritize that win condition. And we really even only saw TabSoda go for a horizontal combo.
Yeah.